password. Training at 1 to 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 of course. So, so what this credentials is doing is this is the training or okay, fine, no problem, no problem. So this is your personal email, right? Okay, fine. So these are our batchmate emails. So I just have noted here. Uh, so no problem, no problem. So why I've given this is just the admin email IDs. So where you refer to this email, sorry, to refer to this R credentials. Basically, it's a training R credentials. You can refer to this and you can build something that you want. So I always will be building on something on this R. It's just like a reference purpose. You can use it and you can create your own. Seeing this as a reference, you can do activity on your own R. If you still wanted to create a new R, you can go to developer.salesforce.com, create a new R for this training purpose. It's not something that the creates. Okay, so Naresh, so I think we have all talked yesterday about this, right? Okay. Mm, just a moment. Yesterday we were talking about these rules and what to doing it, and the syllabus wise today what we're doing is so we have to create an application objects fields. So yesterday one such applications I have created this. Sorry, one of the object I created as called payment info. So let me give a brief channel about what we did yesterday. Schema. This is a schema that we have been came up. So what the schema is telling is, so we are trying to build an application where you will have a customers, you will have a suppliers, and the suppliers will have their own banking insurance as a product, and they can be anywhere. So suppliers are basically they themselves as a customers or they themselves as an account. Um, Look at this. International Private Bank, they headquartered in USA, California. And look at this, India's headquarters are all these guys are individually, they are independent countries, all are being headquarters. And again, they all report into US Bank, which is International Private Bank, the branch is USA. So what I'm trying to say is here is, see, these are also an account where there are suppliers. Suppliers also can have independent products, and then they also introduce the banking and insurance. Now, account is the one which is like can have two things where they can have a type of suppliers, they can have a type of customers because it can be a B2B scenario or it can be B2C scenario. So why we're talking about this is because this is the application that we're going to demonstrate as a project learning things. Um, so ideally, if you see our training sessions, if we talk one to one about the topics and then move on, we don't understand much. So we correlate it with the project. So likewise, we are trying to build a finance project, and that would be related with banking and plus insurance concept would be present here. Suppliers, yes, they're of course they're having a couple of products. So when we say the customers, what they're doing is they will try to apply for a loan. So probably they are trying to open an opportunity for themselves. If they look for a quotation, so we're going to share the quotation with them. If they're okay with the quotation, so then so they are mostly to buy something here. So this is the conceptual things where we see a customers would be getting into an opportunity role, and then he may also have a couple of products he can add, like either a loan or either insurance which products he's looking for, and he can do a payments. Payments. He will have a payments information saved already, and then whichever the product you chosen, you can do a transaction for the payment. And if it is an insurance case, you may do a claims also. If it is normally a bank, what you can do is he would have withdrawn a loan amount, or maybe for the amount whichever he is withdrawn, he would have paid the EMI for the every month a transaction when it begins. So this is the high level that we have now talked about a schema for a financial company. The company name is International Private Bank. So any questions, guys, for this? So we're clear with this, right? So this is a schema that or the application that we're trying to build now. Mm. So let me jump in here. What I've created yesterday is a payment info. So we have to come up with the couple of fields where which particular payment they will be having, what is the payment type, or so few fields would require. So we have to explore onto these fields and we have to figure out the object, what are the fields would require for this. So those particular details we don't have. Just like high level we have. Independently, customer, how many fields we should have, opportunity, how many fields we should have, products, what are the fields we have. So that are the things that we have to independently investigate. So this is like a high level schema. Internally, what fields are there, we didn't discuss yet. Okay, so we'll come to that also. Mm. So these are the two guys which is already created. Who is like manager, sales rep manager, and then sales rep. So now today what you can do is so create application and their related objects. So this would be the chapter, fifth chapter. So all this we're gonna see through. So build a custom application is, let's do this. So I've gone, this is the moment when you log into Salesforce, you to go to home. So generally if you click on a setup, you will land to this page, and then the home you go, and lightning app manager. So here you see a couple of projects which is already available, or we say it's an application. So one such among them we're gonna create. See, this is the option that we have. We have to create a new lightning app. So which should be only visible when you are opening a lightning experience. So though can jump to a classic things, we are not going to do any classic applications here. We're going to directly create only the lightning based applications. So what is the point here is, so you log into only to lightning experience app, so you can see this application. That is all we require. It's a new app name is International Private Bank. And the, so what is this developer name is something the API name type you think. What is the API name which should be used for a query? Sorry. And, so what do you mean by API name or a developer name if you see? So whenever you wanted to query, like how you have a socket query, like select ID from name from a table like that. Select the developer name from the app where name is equal to this particular name. If I give, I can get the results. So ideally this is like a where we just try to use inquiries or anywhere in the program stuff. So we don't refer to this, we refer to this. And these guys always have no space in the between. If they have space, it will be replaced with underscores. So International Private Bank, mm, banking and insurance. It's International Private Bank. Okay. Mm. So if you want to have a color of these combinations you wanted to have, then you can choose something this way. So I'm just creating an application so where you can have a couple of tabs stored. Tabs in the sense it is again an objects which is already there, or the custom application, custom object that we are creating, we can add to it. So I can have also a logo. Just later I'll get the logo. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'm recording at a PPT. I'm not using this. Where I can see. Yeah, it is recording. So I verify. So no problem. So what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to create an application called Newton Net Lightning app, and I'm saying next. So how do you want it to have the navigation style, like a console type of application or standard application? So I'll tell you what is a console type. So generally like a call center type you have, so where you click on to the one object and you can choose any of the record. So whatever the tabs that you open, all would be staying there only. So which is called console navigation. A standard navigation is something that how an application would work, it resides the same way. So that is the ideal way of having a navigation is the standard navigation. And supported form factors. This is something desktop and phone. If you see, you can open this application in normal and desktop. Again, in the Salesforce one. So there is a separate Salesforce one, a custom application for built for the Salesforce users. You can go to either you can Play Store or Apple Store. You can go search for a Salesforce and mobile app. You can install and log into the same credentials. So whatever the application that you created here, it will be visible there. And unless you choose this desktop and phone form factor, you can view the screen experience. All would be the pretty good one. If you choose only desktop, then you are categorizing your application want to display for desktop. Or if you say for a phone, so then it looks very good for the phone factors. Okay, all these are fine. App personalization settings. So I don't want to disable anything for any of the users. So we're good there. So navigation style is standard navigation. And so I'll also show you after some times in the console navigation when we come to service cloud concepts. So currently I'm using a standard navigation and then desktop and form factors I've just chosen. Do you want to have any utility bar? So utility bar is the moment you open an application, at the beneath you see there's a phone, some other tools which is helping you out to to make your speed your work. Let's say you're connecting to some people or to some client and you want to have some speedy thing to have. Let's say you want to have notes to maintain. So there is something a macros or notes would be here. Go click on it instantly. You can record something when you're on the phone to the people. Or you can make a phone call directly to the customer if you have such tools that have been enabled. So all this you can have the downside to your application. Such utility if you want, you can add it. So I'm saying that I have no any such thing, so I will not add anything. So now, who would be the what do you say? The menus or tabs, what do you call? Who would be part of these applications? I would recommend say that the customers would be. Actually, what I have to do is it's not a customers, it should be an account. So I'll rename. Account type is of two things, which is suppliers or customers. So I should rename this to back to account only. And what else we have? So customers, yeah, of course they can have a contacts, and at the side they can have opportunities, and of course they can also have a case. So currently, let's think about this, and the customers to these applications for my for my yeah tabs basically, because it's an application which I'm creating is I need to have a basic set of things which should be ready. So looking at my schema which I have been designing here, so accounts here we have an opportunity products. Under the opportunity you will see products are quote. So here this is fine. And for customer end, so I need to have a payment info. So I don't think a contacts is separately required. We can remove the contacts unless we just get into customers. We'll see their respective contacts. Anything is fine. Later stage, if you want to add, we can do that also. No problem. But currently, I'll remove the contacts. So these are the idle statement which is required. So I say next. So who would the profile you would like to give an access? So this is very important things. Um, so already we have created the two profiles. The profile name itself is um, IBB International Private Bank Sales Manager profile. Another one is sales rep. So these two people are would be working on to this bank application. So I would just give, and apart from this, I will have a system admin access. So let's say majority will see these three people who would be into our project, because it's a developer org. We don't have many users to showcase and give a demo. And so sadly, one user I need to turn on, activate, and then show demo, and then again I have to deactivate him, and again I show another user a demo. Because only system administrator users, we have only two users in the Salesforce professional here. The license that is they give only two for sure. So at least three users enough to play with. Fine. No, no, we have taken off a majority of access. Still, we more restrict few things here, and it is typically when a sales rep for an application is login, what maximum information he can see. So that type of yeah. So yeah, perfectly. What tabs you can see? Let's say he's seeing a tab was also fine. We're giving customer access to him because he has to dealt with the customers. If you see, that's fine. And we can also restrict them by region specific also. So I may have a international bank. I may have a couple of accounts where it's not part of Indian region. It's just maybe US or some Germany. So then I will give you a task say that hey, go hide when a sales rep logs in, he should not see except the accounts of India. So let's assume this is a part of only for in India where shouldn't log in or shouldn't see any accounts related to India. Sorry, only to sit in India except not to India. So then that is one. And again the same way. So we are restricted to one region. That is fine. So it could be for any two profiles. We are restricted to one region. So who would see others guys is admin would see other guys. Currently, that is the one thing we can skip out. So by that way only we can get a couple of administrative work there. So like a project how it works we can. So I'm just saving these applications. So we are ready with the application now. Um, App manager, and then you see new lighting. Exactly. So if you have been to a classic like this, if you go to classic and then you cannot see any application called as international program because it is typically no visible only in the lightning UI. Yeah, but majority people now they're not looking into classic sites, so that's the reason. So I've bought this priority, and this will be the first application which will be having access. So you guys got this international private bank, and no problem. And then I'm opening this. So in meanwhile, let me log in as a any what do you say a manager because I've given access to two profiles, right? So let me log in as a sorry, what's this? I'll open to an incognito. I'll try to open as a like a sales rep. That even the sales rep has an access. So we can get introduce one more user also. No fine. I mean no problem here. So currently this is a manager. I can get another one is like a CEO also. I can get it. No problem. It depends on the requirement type. We'll just get that. Copy. So manager at ipv.com and this is the password. So let's say now it's true and true. Sorry. Yeah, true. So true. Sorry. So I should open with the rep. So only one user can be logged in at a time, right? So thanks for remembering that. So now let's say this is sales rep who is logging in. National Private Bank sales, sales rep is logging in, and he can log in and see. Do you see this? The access which he is having now. Yeah, yeah. So no, no, I didn't create any. So while we are trying to create an org, going to developer.salesforce.com free developer org editions we created. Yes, yeah, I have given a company name called Synthesis. Essentially, automatically they have created domain. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't do anything, so it is automatically taken. Okay, so if you just jump into this profile in admin, you can see I didn't give at the very beginning any profile access to any application access to opportunities or sales rep. So while creating an application, I've chosen three profiles, right? The three profiles is the one who is having an access. So that's how. So this guy, when the rep is logging him, he can see these applications straight away. International Private Bank, and he has got this tab access. Since he has already access to customers opportunity cases, he can see this thing. Now look at this. All customers means you can able to see all the data. Why? Because at the profile level, we didn't care about, hey, you want to have an account access, read it, write, whatever. So it's just all flatly we have. Later stage, when I want to control the data, whatever he is going to create a customers, only that particular data I can see. That also we can get it. Because he's a rep, right? So I don't want to get all the custom data and show to him. So that also we can restrict at later stage. Currently, we are been following through our profiles where he's a rep. Yes, he has an access to only to this bank. He doesn't have any other application access. And the tabs whichever is visible is having his own control to see these things. Till this level, we are good. So we have come up with the built-in application of Federal Private Bank is fine. And yesterday I've created a custom object called as payment info. So I want to show the profile access what is currently we running. So this is a sales rep which I logged in, right? So the moment I give an access to this application, so you can see here This is this international private bank, and it's visible in default. Some other application we have. What I can do is I can go and it, and I can make this as a default application. So then I don't need to give any sales application access to him so far. So only one bank, which is this particular application, is more than enough for this particular user. So this particular profile. Anyone logs in with this particular profile. So what see only one application, which is this application. So this we are setting at the profile level, so we are able to see. Even we logged in and checked the same thing it is. And again, at an account level, if you see, I have given read, create, edit, view all, modify all. So based on the requirement, yes, we wanted to give full access to him to see at account. Account is basically whatever the customers see there. So we want to see there, or we want to restrict the showing these details also. So we can come back and then remove few things which is not required. We'll clean up this activity when I just cloned from the system administrator profile, right? So that's the reason you can see so many. Though still I've taken few things, we will still narrow down which is not required for this particular profile. So this I can do it on offline. I'll show you what I've taken off. So what you see is majority. These all are I would have unchecked it, so which is not useful for that particular rep. So no problem. So let's go to object manager. In the object manager, yesterday I've created a object called as um, yeah, payment. Wow. Did anyone create a payment object? There is a payment object already. Okay, I don't know. This is a standard payment object. Mm. So there's a payment gateway, payment authorization, payment group. Oh, we have a standard this refund line payment, mm, card payment. I don't know how this come. I didn't install any. It's good, no? So already, whichever we expected, already they are having it. And these guys are all are tied up to um all these are tied up to a customer, I think. So card payment. Let me check the relationship what they have. Yeah, they are having an account. Look up to account. Card holder first name, last name, card type, comments. So this is what I was expecting already. So they're pretty good. I think we have it. But one custom object we created, right? So let me just expand and show you how to create a fields and objects. So that is simple enough. I just go to object manager. If I just click on create and custom object, you just give an object name here. Let's say payment info I just given, and then this I can either use text or I can use auto number. When I want to do an auto number, it's just like an ID which you are trying to replicate. It's just like auto increment of each and every record when it goes, it'll go like um, ID 001, 002, how that keeps on incrementing the auto numbers, right? So like that we can think. Starting number is 1. So it will start from 001. Each and every records when keep incrementing, it will go on. So this is how we create a custom object. You give a custom object name here, and it should be plural form. Why plural form is when you log into an application, always it shows on the tabs as a plural form. Plural forms is very important here to give it. Do not miss the plural form to give here. If say activity, activities, IES at the end, it should end with. So you need to give a plural form for the each and every word you give here. Okay, all right. So such yesterday I have created the sorry, payment info. This is a custom object which I created. So any custom object you create, you can see there is under underscore c, which is being placed. So you can see many time here such whenever the object name is you create, it will be under underscore c. Whenever you create a new field, also the new field also would be a custom field, and that also would be under underscore c. Getting? If you go to any standard object and if you create a new field there, even that field is a custom field. What is called custom? Whichever you create is treated as custom. So what is called standard, which is out of box, which is present, is called standard. Out of box in the sense when we sign up for a Salesforce org, so by default, few things we get it right. Let's see here. This object I created absolutely, but these four fields are the standard fields, which will come by default. For any object you create, this would be the four default fields will be created. What is that? For this object, a first field would be there, right? They always call as a name field. You give a respective name whatever you want, but it's always called as a name field. You would always query select name from payment info. You will never say that select payment info ID from payment info. No, it is always their API name is name, and it is though it is a custom object. I would never have name and underscore c. Any every first field of the object is always name, and they are treated as standard. Why we set to be as standard? Every object at least one field where you need to enter the value. Without the entering a value, we cannot save a record. It's a mandatory field we say. Since this is auto number, since this is an auto number, we may not enter any data here. Automatically the numbers are getting generated. Like 1, 2, 3, like series number getting generated. If it is normally text field, you need to enter the text, only then the record would be saved. Without entering at least one field the value, the record would not be saved. We don't have any null records. At least we should have some data in one, at least one record. So why we see don't see any underscore here is because these are the standard fields. And these four fields are very common. Anytime any object you create, custom object you create, you can see all these four fields. What is this? Created by ID, last modified by ID, owner ID, along with one field which we say um, that one field is something this. So I given a payment, say payment info is the label, payment info is the plural form, object name is payment info. Here I give the record name, right? So this is the field which is called as name. No, we have chosen here. If we have chosen type as auto number, anything could be. What it says is auto number in the sense every time when I create a record, automatically PIID so many zeros followed by one. It automatically increment this entire series. And of course, it should have a number at the last. Only then it can increment the numbers. Look at this A0000. After second record, it will be 2, 3, 4 at the last. So this in case this will do automatic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will do automatic for you if you choose auto number. Yes, yes, exactly. This is when you choose auto number for the name field. Getting sick. Where, like you are entering a manual data there. So unless, for example, if I just go to customer, I just give a name here, customer name. Look at this account name. How it is say star. I need to give it. Without this, I cannot proceed, right? So likewise, that particular app payment info, if you give a text as the name there, and this is our now it's an account actually. I have renamed to customers, but I have to rename back to it as an account where whenever I say as a new customer, we will say sorry new account, we will say it is I need to have a record type here placing. Are you a supplier or you are a customer? Yeah, I'm a customer. It's an yeah, yeah. Basically, no one will change it. It's crazy. No problem. Don't take much time. This one eventually you'll get it because I'm saying that I would rename tabs and labels. So that's as I'm quickly jumping here. Any renaming at a tab level, and you wanted to name completely to a different stuff. So for let's say example, in few companies they don't say cases, they say it as tickets, they say it as an incident. So what we do, we just come override the name to cases to incidents or a tickets, or could be bug, whatever. We can have different people has a different project, has a different company has a different own thoughts of the names. So we are following a Salesforce standard stuff is called cases. We'll use this. But this I thought I have to use as a customer, but ideally then it was a question that who would be a supplier. Then I found later stage. Okay, both are account only, and the type is of accounts. Okay, so this is renamed to the entire stuff. Perfect. So we are good there. So I moved back to the accounts. So now anyone who logs in, it should be not a customer, it should be accounts only. And we have a type of an account who call suppliers or look at this accounts, account name, account site phone. So international private bank. So this is actually what type. I would get a type here, account type, where I say it as record type as supplier. So I can have a list view here. This is a list view, right? Where I can get a list view of different types. List view of supplier accounts, customer accounts. We can get the differentiation here. So that we'll see into the later stage. So we got these application tabs already. And custom object, I've shown you guys how do you deal with the custom objects. So now let's create one such a simple field. How a custom field will represent here, and how each and every time when you create a custom field, how do you give an access to them. So let's see that also. So the moment you go to fields and relationship, you click on new, so you get a fields, and you see here are different data types. What is this data type reference? Sometimes let's say you missed out at a at an object level to give the auto number. You have kept their text, but somehow you want auto number. You can use auto number still. You can create such field for auto number, and then so this again, this every time when a record creates, so this content would be a custom field, and it would create an every time auto number for you for each and every record. Still the same purpose it serves if you miss there still. And if you want to have any formula fields, yes, to calculate, maybe if you wanted to calculate some of the parent. Let's say I'm in a child object, payment info is a child object. Who is my parent? If you think customer is my account is my parent object. I want to get few things from my parent record and get into my child record and show it. Likewise, get from something from an account and show in the payment info. So to get the reference from there to my parent to a child, I need to have something to do it. So via through a formula field, I can do that. Basically, I can reference from one table to another table if you have a relationship. So what do you mean by relationship? I'll tell you. One object to another object. How do we relate? How do we connect? So that is we call as a relationship. So relationship type we have either lookup relationship or master data relationship. These are the two prominent thing we have. Other things we have is for when you want to connect to some external system where we get into a external lookup relationship. So ideally within a Salesforce we say two types of relationship we have. One is lookup and a custom master data relationship. Individual will get into it what these two things are doing, and we'll also see about other lookup relationship which we have. These are the data types would be always there when you create a new custom field. Every object when you create a new custom field, so this is the things that it asks you to choose a data type which one you wanted to go with. So we have checkbox, currencies, date, time. It all depends on what are the field that you want to track for that particular object. Let's say if I say payment info, for a payment info, what is required? Maybe um, I would choose a text field where it says um, payment description or something you want, or you say pick list you will have. In this pick list, I can have pick list is nothing but a drop down where I say payment type, card type. Card type is something where you have a Visa card or Mastercard, something that we can have like a pick list, and then you can have such data to be stored here. So ideally, what I'm trying to say is these are the different set of data types that we have. So I'll choose one among them as text, and then proceed next. I would say here payment card number, and length is, so ideally every card will have let's see, every card will have at least 4 4 16. Yeah, so I'll give as an 18. So Fucus, I think Discover card has a little more. Okay, ideally I'll give 18. Fine. Okay. So look at this. Now it is asking a question for me. Which are the profiles that you wanted to give this access? I have created a payment info object. To create one field, each and every time field you create, it asks you permissions to which all the profile this particular field should be in access. So basically, this is called as field level security. Who should see what? When I know I have an access to this payment info, still my profile has an access to this particular field, sensitive information, card number. Should I give access to this guy? So you should think into your business scenario and then you have to give it. So I have to, and I'm just showing you guys like system admin, another two profiles which I've created. So they will have an access. Who else rest they see, payment info is a custom object which I created. No, no, no. We have, so that is the reason I've said in the early. Profile is the one. Profile is the one which we say is a role. So profile is the one. It doesn't deals only with application. It has a tab. You can control the tabs. Which tabs have to see. You can control the object level, page layout, section, fields. So these many things we say that what you have to see. It's just not only the one if I give, you will completely have an access. Hmm. Hmm. No, no. See, let's say you have given application access. It is meant to be saying that what application you have an access. That's it. And under that, application is what? So application is what? It is a collection of tabs. We say what tabs are doing. Tabs are connected to each and every object. Tabs is nothing but a menu. Let's say if I say account, I know account tab you have an access, but account object related, what type of an access you have? Read, write, edit, what you have. You have only have read access. I will show you. Though I given tab access to you, but I not given any object access to you. Let's say read, write, everything I've taken off. So then that particular object would not show. Why? Because there's no need of the tab there. Though it is having a visible access, I cannot go click on the tab and I cannot show anything to you. Know. So instead, what I do is for that particular. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So let me show you again once again. Profiles, sales rep. I'll quickly go to the custom object which I created yesterday. So look at this payment infos. Yesterday I've created, but I didn't give access to this guy. So firstly, I have to give access to that guy, to that object. This is a good scenario where I can explain. So he has a zero access to this. He doesn't have even read. He doesn't have read, create, whatever. So now let's say does he have a tab access? There's no tab for this object because I didn't create any tab for this object. Look at this. What I have, what will have if there is a tab I'm talking about. Like you see your accounts. Accounts has tab as a default on. That means the tab is present. Whenever he logs in, you can see, whenever he logs in, you can see this tab. He's a sales rep. He logged in, you can see this access. Now the same things, look at this. I have tab access. Look at the crazy thing what I'll do. I'll take off the complete access to that account. Hmm? I've taken a complete access to this account. But he still hasn't a tab access. I didn't remove any tab access. I just only removed all the object permission, read, write, create I've taken off. He has still in a tab access. Look at this. Though he has a tab access, but doesn't have any access to the object, read, create, nothing he has. So that particular tab only went off. There's no meaning, right? If I yeah, true. So what I'm trying to say here is for that particular account, I have tab access as default on. Default on means tab is visible for you. I have given access to a tab. What is use of tab? Only tab access you have. Inside that there is no masala. There is no object information permissions only. Come here, look at this. It is all zero. What I will show you, even though you have a tab access. So in that case, we have taken off the tab. The, look at that also thrown out of. Do I have a tab access to account? It is thrown out. Why? Because see what this is. It is having a link to every object. It doesn't. This is not doing a great thing. Opportunity, yes, of course, is a tab. The moment I click on it, what happens? If I have access to opportunity object, then it shows opportunity layout to me. Where I don't have access to this only, then why I will have this thing? So it will immediately that I will turn off. So this is an admin question which will come in your exams where it says, what if I have a at a profile level? What if I have a no options, so no permissions at an object level? So will the tab is still present as a default on? So the moment you log in, can you see such tab are visible or not? So some questions would be like these. So you can easily make out when I don't have any permissions at the profile level for an object, I cannot expect the tab to be present in my application. Got it, right? You got this scenario, guys? Hello? Yeah, so no problem. So I don't want to take off this account access. Let me give it back to this guy. And to this payment info, let me give. I don't care. I'll just give payment info I've given to this particular profile. Only the object I given. I didn't give anything about the fields which is inside. You guys getting? The object which I created yesterday, I didn't give an access to any profile. Today I've just given only to the sales rep. That's fine. So what I was trying to do is I was creating a field, custom field called as payment card number under which object payment object is a custom object. So when I'm creating this, at that time I'm choosing, hey, only to these three profiles you should be visible. So even though you have an access to that particular object, if you give a field, only then that particular field will be visible the moment you land to that page. If you don't have an access to at least to this field, nothing would be shown to you. Look at this. What I do is I don't give a IBB sales rep access to you now. Hmm? This is the one who I logged in, but I didn't give an access to this field. Look at this. The crazy what will happen. I'll save this record. See, this is the layout which we have. So whenever a object is created, It is like a bundle. Will have layouts, pages, buttons, compact layouts, field sets, record types, triggers, any validation you want, right? All this will be created a bundle for one particular object. It happens ideally for every object, either a custom or a standard object. You will see all this bundle. So what this is doing is it is supporting your object to do few other activities. So you create fields where you will add to a layout. You will add. Why layout? When you log in, you see that layout. When you get into that page, you will see that layout. What in layout will be? Couple of fields would be there. In fields, what will be there? And data would be there. So this is how they are now having contents here. So now I created a field where you want to add to this layout. You want to add to a layout? Fine. You may not add, you may skip out. It all depends on you based on the scenario. So let's say I'm creating a field. I don't want it to show anyone. So then I would turn off this. I don't want to show anything in layout. Layout means it is what? When someone is logging in, you are showing that field to people. Let's say what is your name, first name, last name. This is all you can show. What is your SSN number? Do you want it to show? It is a social security number. Yes, of course I want to show, but it should be in a masked way. Star 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 or something I want to see. So then we have an encryption field should be enabled to that particular field. So a couple of things we have, no? What I want to show, what I don't want to show. I don't want it to show anyone. I am using that particular field for a background check, like copying some ID, doing some transaction, and that field is helping me to do identify something. You need not to show to anyone. It's a background field. Why you want it to show to anyone? Unless like a card number, like yes, this is a real-time scenario where I'm creating. People have to see this field when they land to the page. Of course, I wanted it. Save. Now look at this is the field which I created as a custom field where it will see under underscore C. Any custom object you see, if you click on the object member and then if you go to details and see, there will be under underscore C. That means this is the custom object. And when I come to fields, any fields you see under underscore C, then it's a custom field. So under underscore C indicates that is custom. That is something that we created it. Already, when I created this object, four fields were by default. So they treat it always as a standard. There's no always under underscore C is required for it. But for this card payment is required. Okay, so I didn't create any tab, right? I didn't create any tab for this object. Let me try to create a tab for this. What do you mean by tab? Tab is basically a menu. When you log in, you can see tabs, right? Those are menu we see. I go click on tabs. Always I go to setup and then search. This is setup bar where we have rename tabs is different where we rename it. Tabs is something that we wanted to create a tabs. Custom object tabs, web tabs, Visual Force tab, Lightning component tab. A couple of tabs we have. If you create a custom object but you didn't create any tab, then you have to come here. You wanted to open some on clicking on this something like this tab. You want to show Google page, then something like a web tab we need to have. Why? Because you are at an org where you want to click your company's website. The moment you click on the tab, you show a company web page there. Currently, these web tabs are not much useful. I don't know. They are restricting the websites inside this to show. Visual Force tabs is something Salesforce have a where you do when you do a customizations, you can create your own page to develop and stuff whatever you want. Even that page you wanted to get it, yes, you can get the tab. For that, basically, Visual Force page should be there, and then we can have Visual Force tabs here. Custom, see, yeah. Customization. The moment when I say customization is something that you have created some page. Let's say check PNR number. PNR number is something I don't know what it is you're saying. So what you do is you would have built a custom VF page. See, so what is this? What is this doing currently here? These are the tabs, right? So what this are doing in the sense, of course, when I say tabs, every time a tab is connected to an object account, I say tab also it is connected to an object. Custom object in sense like phone payment info. I created a custom object. Now I didn't showcase here. That custom object I didn't showcase here. How do you showcase here to this particular application? The one way is to go create a tab. So look at this. The object name would show payment info, and you can choose some style here. You getting? Custom object means whichever the object that you created and you wanted to get to the outside the world, then via through tab you're showing it. Of course, you need to come to a custom object type, and then you have to choose your custom object, and then you have to choose some style here, tab style. Fine. Unlike a visual first page, if you create a such page, it will give an option. Go choose any page you want, which one you want to showcase. So these all created, which is at the background. You are trying to bring them and show in your application. Okay. Now let me say this payment. Huh, unless and until if you don't create here, it will not be visible there. So I'll show you. I know I have a payment info already. An object is created, but look at this. I'm just jumping into an app manager to International Private Bank. I'm just click on edit. I just go to the navigation items. These three things are there because a tab is already present. Now let me check as a payment. Look at this payment info. I don't have here because I just created an object, but I didn't expose to a tab. When I expose to a tab, only then I can have it. Mm. Yeah. So what I do is I'm gonna create the tab here firstly. Yeah. Even the tab when I create, I need to say that hey default on or default off or hidden. Why? Because I should tell them to all the profile whether should I give an access this particular tab, this to particular profile. So by default is default on. I can turn off by selecting an individual different fields. I'm saying tab hidden for everyone and to once what did you see? Apply one tab visibility. It's a default that means it is for all default on. I don't want to show to anyone. Tab hidden. Getting? Now I'll open up individually. Apply different tab visibility for each profile. Okay, now I have hidden for everyone, I'll open up only for the system admin. I'll only open up for the sales rep. You guys getting? See, look at this. Just now I created a tab. That's it. I'll show you. Just now I created the tab. And after creating the tab, you are saying that should I include to the these many applications? I don't want. Each and individually are on applications. The new tab which I created, should I give access to all the applications which is there? I want only to my international private bank. Correct, right? So someone who logged in here to this bank only, I'm creating a tab there. So why I want to all the applications which is there in the Salesforce. Getting? So look at this. If I click on this, I see service, marketing, cloud, community. These are applications. Why I want to put my payment info there, here and all. So it is this particular application where I'm trying to build something on this. I will direct only that particular object tab to here. Getting? So that is the purpose. At the very beginning, it was asking, where's the tabs? So tabs while I'm creating it, it says to which custom applications or to which app you wanted to add it. So I specifically said only to add my international private bank. Okay, I'm saving it. So now the custom tab which you created is now accessible to those three profiles and which particular application you want to show. Yes, of course, international private bank. These are the ideal situation always you would be choosing it. Even if I choose visual first tab also, it asks me where is the page. First it asks me where is the page which you want to showcase. If I create a page, it will come here in the list. Then what is the name you want to give? What is the tab name? What you wanted to give as API name, and then style what you want to do. The next instant thing would be what it will ask me which particular profiles you wanted to showcase and which particular app you wanted to add this particular tab. So the same scenario for everything. Each and every case it is the same scenario. Whenever I create a tabs, it is always meant for a profiles and for application. When you log in, which application you wanted to see this tab. Yes, getting? Yeah, we'll see that. What I've just done is I've just created one field, which is a simple text field. But look at this, only to a system admin I given access, only to a manager I given access, but the rep I didn't given access. The guy who logged in here is a rep. Look at this. Correct, right? The card number field which I created, I didn't give an access to rep. While creating only didn't give an access to rep. Now I said I wouldn't have an access to a payments info tab. Yeah. Look at the tab has been accessible now. Just getting. Since you give a tab access there to the profile, one second. Since you given a tab access there, where while while choosing this payment option, sorry, while creating this tab options, next, I have chosen which application also should have an access to. By that time only, this particular via through UI only I've added it. Need not to add from here. Look at this. Payment info is by default it is added. Why? I have added from the other end. No, while creating a tab only, I chosen a profile, which other profile should have an access, and which application should be having this particular tab also should be visible to that particular application. That also have given access. So that is the reason. Without I'm adding here, you can see here. Just getting. If you miss out somewhere via through the tabs you wanted to give an access, always you can come to App Manager, choose application. You can put the navigation tab there. Getting. You are very clear at the very beginning only while creating a tab. You are very clear to who is the profile I'm going to give access to, which application I'm going to give access. Problem solved there only. If you miss out there, you have to come back to always to nav and to navigation. You have to give additional access there. Is getting always when option while we create we miss out. Okay, fine, no problem. We can give later stage. So that's all this is. Even at the very beginning, an object when you create custom object when you create, you can also choose a tab instantly at that time only, and you can choose off. You can create a tab the right away. But I didn't choose a tab option that time. I didn't create a tab option that time. Now today I created a tab for that. So that means what? Anything that you can create at a later stage. Now look at now. Um, See, look at this. I don't have that card payment number which I created. Why? Because that particular field I didn't give an access to this rep. Is getting payment info ID is an auto number. I cannot enter anything here. Payment card number is the one which I recently created text field, but that field I didn't give access to this rep. So that is what I can say. Each and every field we can control at a profile level. Each and every field I can control at a profile level, whether that field should be visible or not. I'm not talking about the data, whether the field should be visible or not. That itself is controlled at the profile level. And if you wanted to, hey, I wanted to show at least one particular field to that user, only for that particular user, if I say, I will create a permission set, go to that particular object and give additional access to only to that particular field and assign that permissions to a user. So in that case, that user can have access to only to that field. If you say there is an exception case where I wanted to give additional access to that particular user. So this is the field which I created, no? Payment card number. Set field level security. Look at this. I have to manager, I have to administrator, but I didn't give an access to rep. So now what you can do is you can either come to payment info object, choose fields, which field is not visible, you can go click there and you can set the field level security. So this is one way of doing it. What is the other way of doing it? Go to profiles, which is that IBP sales profile, and search for the payment infos. Once again, let me refresh because a lot of things we changed in that. So somewhere if you could see field level security, look at this field level security. For the custom object, they would give a separate section. Look at this custom field level security called payments info. So one way is go to directly to an object. Getting one way is good. And what I'm trying to say is go find the object payment name and go to the respective field and check the field level security and give access. So this is one way of giving an access to that particular field to a profile, where to this particular profile. Other way is go directly to this profile, go directly to this profile, go directly to this profile and click on the particular object called payment info. I'm showing the two ways also. Either you come from left hand side, you come from right hand side, all are same. So you went to the profile, you've chosen that object under the field level security. So now you can edit to this entire object. So what is the advantage is if you have 100 fields here, in one go you can give all the access. But in the object level, the crazy is you have to go to independent field and you have to come back there. Getting if you go to an object level, oh, this is the field, I don't know whether this has an access or not. Another field, I don't know whether access or not. So it is a crazy one. In that case, you have to go to each and every field and you have to see the set field level security, and then you have to set that particular field to be visible or not. But whereas if you go to a profile and choose that particular object directly, and it'll show all the fields which you have an access. So read or write access I don't have. Let me enable this access. Where this I'm doing at the profile level. Is getting either I can go directly to a profile and go to this object. Under this object, I can set the field level security, open up access to that particular guy, or go to a field, narrow down to the profile, no field, set the field level security and enable it. Since I've given at the profile level, look at this. Here it will be reflected. Look at this. So either you can come from the profile side or you can go to the object related field side, all that you can see. So now let me log in and then refresh and now click on a new record. So now the card number is visible to me. Why? Because I went on and enabled the access to this particular field for that particular the logged in profile who is rep. So I can see this field now. I can type now anything random numbers. So if you type behind this, it will not go. Why? Because your length itself you have given as 18. So it will not go behind that. If I click on save, storage limit exceeded. Oh my god. You know why? Yesterday I was trying to um, insert a file here. I said no the video. I was playing around here. Let me check here. How to check the storage exceeded? So go to the company info, the chapter number 2. Sorry, chapter number 3 we have personal and company information. In the company informations you can see storage related stuff also. Mm. So what I can see here, there's a data space used. Used data space, used file space. What is this? 194% it says. Look at this. Limit is 20 MB, but we has is 1 GB. Hmm. But at least it should show the file. No, I can share it to guys. Crazy it is. What is it? Just a minute. Oh. Okay, I have to. I was using a shortcut to open up some object, so it is going out. Anyway, no problem. So content. This is the one file I want to see the size also. Look at this. This is a file which is causing issue. I tried to upload yesterday an MP4 file directly to the Salesforce and share you guys. So it is having 1 GB. I don't know whether it is allowing you to do download or not. Yeah. This is the object name or table name what you call. See what I was doing yesterday, So Chatter has an option to upload up to 2 GB of files in one go. So what I did is I have my couple of what do you say MP4 files, which I am treating as the chapters. I'm recording in PPT and I can get extract the only the MP4 videos. So what I'm doing is I am trying to upload to a Chatter so that I have you guys anyway has a login to this Salesforce. You can go to Chatter, you video quickly download and then you can see I thought. But the crazy is it's a free developer org. It will not allow you to do more stuff. Getting? So that is where I saw a storage limit we have is 20 MB is the max. But it uploaded 1 GB also. Look at the crazy. It has taken 1 GB. See, used it says is 1 GB here. But limit is 20 MB. And look at the percentages. No, no, this I'm saying at this Salesforce. I have an option of a secondary thing is YouTube yesterday, but this is the primary thing which I had. I was trying to do here and easily I can mode. I thought. So and then now what if we have to do is yes, of course, via through company information we went on. See these informations, of course, we are getting an error. We are seeing it. What we're doing is we have got a real-time scenario where storage limit exceeded. Why? I cannot store a single record here. Look at this. What it error says. Storage limit exceeded. Basic record is itself is not getting stored. So that is the reason what to do. So I have to go delete that particular file here. Yeah, that itself is max. That is actually about a file you say. You see, look at the data which you have is only 5 MB. Uh, This is the one which we will be focusing on. Since somewhere file storage exceeded, even the R limit also got exceeded. So that is the reason even it's not arriving, though we have at least minimum value here to store. But this is itself is exceeded. Overall, the cap of the org itself is got exceeded. Yes, yes. Just like try, do, learn, and then get out of it. It's just like that. People because see unless and until previously when we at the very beginning they given us 250 MB. What they done is they themselves treated this. You need to go to company information, click on a company information, and the right side you will see check file storage, check space, data space. So both will land to the same. Storage usage is the one which you can see. See earlier data 250 MB where though it is a 250 MB, people treated this org as itself as a company credentials and then they were using the store the company data and they were doing a project, real-time project. But what sales was expecting, you will do a training and will buy a license for this. So they themselves for a free developer org they were using for a project purpose. So that's the reason they have nailed down to very less storage. You use, you learn. This is quite amount enough amount to learn for a purpose for 5 MBs. Like at least you can have um, 500, 600 records. So it's pretty good enough. They thought. Okay, all right. Yeah. So let me delete this off. I think it is no more useful to me. I'll delete this. Okay. So now let me refresh this. Oh, still it says. Feed items. So I post in the chat, right? That's a crazy thing which I have done. I have to see this less percentage there. Else no meaning to delete this all of it. Cool. So when I delete a feed item, it went off. So I have back to 13 KB, which is was existing some file would be there, and no percentage is used. So now I can go save a record. So look at this. This is an auto ID which is generated PID 002. There should be already one record is present. So that's the reason it started with two. So what is the starting number? I said is one. Yeah. So one, two. Look at this. This information I have to be able to see now. This developer console. Yeah, select ID from payment. I don't know whether I want space info at underscore C. Underscore C is something you're a custom object. This is API name which you use it. I cannot give flat name there. I told you right. Each and every time when I try to create something, I need to give the API names. These are for whatever you want. So now just go to a setup and there you see developer console here. So look at this. I select ID command name from payment info. So name is something here. I didn't give any underscore. See, look at this is the custom field. And this is the ID. ID is actually Salesforce record ID. It is where this is used as a unique ID. And to represent the name, we have the PIDs. And the other field which we could do is I don't know card number and what field I've used payment card number. So I cannot give just like the spaces and all. Look at this. If I give a space and then I try to search contact. So I would have given a proper API name. Whatever the API name which you given that you have to follow that. So what where do you find such? So go to object manager, fields relationship. So this is the API name always. I can copy directly from here. So it's the best case to search for. So now you will see the results. So whatever you're doing a query, you can see all the left to the right side or left side, not the left side. So a record which I inserted also I queried here. Guys getting? So why I have landed here is because I got an error called as file exceeded. Then the crazy which I did yesterday, I just went on to search. Then I found the feed item, I deleted the feed item and then the content version. So the file went off. So I have got a minimum space to insert this record. So okay, go ahead. So I've stopped sharing. I should give you presenter access. Make as host. So Naresh, we're unable to see your screen because I made you as a host. At the downside, you can see a share button. Yes, we can see your screen now. N- No, not this option. So look at this. There's a this command of here. Used data space, used file space. You can see there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is storage. You can directly you can copy the storage usage. Uh, so yeah, search there directly. Yeah, this also would land directly there. Why I'm coming from company because I would have a storage for a data or it could be a file. I don't know which how much percentage. So that's the reason I just went to the company and I checked. Yeah, yeah, you can do it. Okay, let me get back. Can you make me as host? Go click on write to my name and then change. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, your screen stopped and my screen started visible. So let me know when you're able to see my screen. So at a topic wise, I think we have custom build application, object, fields, all we saw. Tabs also we seen, and what are the different types of tabs we seen. Now let's quickly check the pick list. How like Kumar was asking me, what pick list you will have. So let me create a one field. Again, going back to the payment info fields, and there's a new option. Click on it, then you'll see different type of types. So where I'll come to a pick list here. Yeah, yeah, I'll come to a pick list and I'll choose. Say next. So here I'm saying, okay, let's say payment card type. If you have already a global pick list value you have created, it is fine that you can use it. Why we say global pick list? Each and every time when you want to have the same name across the couple of objects, then you can use global pick list. To do that, what you do is you have to go here, pick list value sets. So this is called as global pick list. So what you do is you try to create one here and could be used anywhere whenever the no, object you are trying to create. This is one which I'm saying. Let's say ideally like country India and like we choose it, right? That's a common thing. Unless in a project scenario where keep you guys keep creating this, let's say gender. For a gender, what we have is always we have two values or maybe multiple values, male, female, and you can give others. So if I do this, you can use this particular global pick list value anywhere in your object value you try to create. Let's say you're in a payment info, you can use that pick list there if required. Next, you're trying to create some other XYZ custom object. Wanted to create a pick list of gender, you need not to create it again and again. So you can use this simply, you can reference this gender there. And whenever you want to add one more value, you can easily add common add here. So it will reflect wherever this all the fields, wherever the object is been referenced with the same field. Wherever gender is referenced, the new value would be there, visible there. You need not to go modify each and every field of every object wherever the gender is present. It is like one-time job where you maintain across. So we say it as global pick list. You getting? So let me go to the previous window and come back here. This is gender. If I use the global pick list gender, then you need not enter any value. Automatically the values are flowing from their gender and then it has two value automatically. It is flowed in. So you say next next and save it. Something that for this global pick list gender you want to change, you can always go to a where is that? Yeah, pick list. You can add one or two other more values if you add. Wherever that particular pick list has been referenced, it will automatically add the new values. So no issues with this also. But whereas I'm just showing the general how we can get it here for the card type, it will not be helpful. So where I'm just choosing here, Master, Visa. These are the card types I'm just putting here. So discover other options. Maybe I don't know. Like these three cards I remember now. I just put here. So card type is either Master type or Visa or Discover. I'm just put here. I'm saying next. Every time when you create a field, it will ask a security where to who and all should be visible. You should be very careful at the very beginning only. So only we created the profiles at the very beginning stage. So that each and everything I create, I can directly assign to these guys and keep on moving. So best thing is you need to have the profiles at the very beginning of your project. So when you say which Kickstarter project, first add this basic fundamental which app profiles I should have it. So then slowly we can give the access to these guys while we creating on the go. So let me give this and to my system admin. So two people have given access. So three people have given access, which will card type. I'm saying next. Look at this time I don't have adding this to a layout. Hmm? I'm not adding to this layout. How I'm adding to the latest stage you see it. I created a field called card type. I'm not adding to the layout. Anything you don't add to the layout, it will not show. Correct? Though I have given that particular field access, I can't see them in the layout. Only if you add to a layout, it will be visible. So yes, I've given that particular field access to this rep, but I cannot see that latest field which is flowing in. Why? I not add to the layout. How do you add to the layout? So same way, setup, object manager, search payment info. You would see this UI. Come to a layout. So where this is the layout which you see. So click on the layout. So this is called as palette, where you do all drag and drop things you do. We call as object palette. Look at this card type which has been created but didn't add to the UI. I'm just dragging and dropping them. I can click double click. I can make them as read only. I can make them as required. Agree? So if I say I make as required, only at the UI level this is required. From a background I can insert. But if you make something at a field level only they are required. So it is required. You cannot save a record without that choosing the card type. You guys getting? I'm in the layout. I've added this field fine. While creating a field, I didn't make this field as a required field at any cost. This was just a normal field. In layout, you're trying to make it as required. Okay, fine. So wherever in the layout, if you wanted to enter the value, of course, you need to choose this value. You have to enter this value or else the record won't be saved. What is the disadvantage of this? If I go to developer console, I can insert from the background without choosing a card type. So then again, still the data accuracy will go off, right? You are marking it as required here and a background you are inserting without the value of here. So if you want to have constraint, no value has been present, make at the field level only. Anyway, now I have added the drag and drop the layout, no field to this layout, and I'm saving this. So I've added to this layout. You can see. Commit relationship, card type. So here you can see required. This is what I was talking about. At the field level, you make it as required. Everyone has to enter the value. Without entering this value, it will not save a record. What do you mean by entering? You need to choose a card type. There are no option at all for you. Where's the card type? Look at this. But why it's not showing the layout? We'll try to create new record. See, here the record is not visible, that particular field. Yeah, drop down. But I've chosen the layout, right? Mm, I went to page layout, payment page layout. Hmm. What wrong with this? Payment card type we have here. Fields and relationship, let me get in. And then click on this field, card type. And I'll see the fee level security. Of course, rep has an access. It has visible. So why we want to care about? We field accessibility, payment card type. It is editable for these guys. So all be clear why it is not showing there. Let me create one. Okay, what I'll do is I'll make as a required field. Let's see how it acts. So I'm marking this payment card type as the required field. You must give this value. Hmm? I'll just say these values are required. Look at this. Now it shows. When I say it is required, it shows the value. I say master and I save it. However, the values are taken, but it's not showing the why. How the crazy one. I'm just randomly creating a list view. Not required any of this. Select fields to display. Card number, card type. Doesn't have. So I can see here. So why not in the layout? So anyways, I'll see that why this particular, maybe after log out and log in, it may show you. I don't know. Okay, so what I was showing you guys is I was showing the pick list to you guys, and I was modifying the page load also, and I showed you. Getting buttons and links, we'll see. Yeah, finally we got it. It is a cache issue. Sorry for that. So guys, you getting it? What I was doing? So what I was doing is I created a new field called as custom field where it called as payment card type. I added a pick list value there. And at the very beginning, I didn't give this particular field to the layout. Then at the later stage, I came to this object and went to the layout and I dragged and dropped the field inside the layout. It's my wish. I can drag and drop there. If I don't want it, I can throw it back. See, but this default it says star. Why? Because at a field level only we made as required. That is the reason it's showing a star. Star means what is a required field. It should be always on layout. Why? You marked as required, so it should be always in the layout. You cannot drag and drop this. It will show that hey, this field cannot be removed from the layout. Why? It is a required field. You marked in the layout at the field level only. If you take off that, yes, it allows you to throw it away. So not only fields, you can also manage the buttons which you wanted to have it here. But these are the classic buttons. We don't deal anymore here. We see lightning mobile and lightning experience actions we see here. See whatever you see like edit, if you want to come at the first and post file new task, something like this you want, you can add it there. So like you see new contact edit, these are the quick actions which you see. Like there's a number of things we have. So which particular tabs you wanted to get an access, which you don't want it, we can throw it back. Let's say I don't want the change owner, throw back here. Where you'll see in quick actions you'll see, or mobile actions you can see. Mobile related actions you can see in the mobile. Quick actions you can see in the quick actions. Buttons are the classic one. Unless you jump to a classic screen, only this will help you. So in the mobile actions, I'm just throwing receive alerts. I'll throw back here receive alerts. See receive alerts came here. I can get back here. So this is how you drag and drop the quick actions. So this is all managing the buttons you can think. And if you want to see the related list, I want to show um, two more columns extra. I want to remove the columns here. So just click on this. You can add the so one field like these, or you don't want this, you can remove like these. So where it will helpful when you log into a record at that time it will be helpful. For example, look at this related list. If I have a notes and attachments, it will be showing. Okay, let's go to accounts and I just see all accounts. I just come to here. So in the related list, if you see, so we have these many fields, right? So what are the fields should be shown in the related list? That is what it is. Let's say view all if you click. So what are the fields should show here? What are the columns should show here when I'm looking at the related list? So that is a column, it says the related list. What are the fields I want to show here? If I don't want the related list, you can throw it by doing a cancel. Where it won't appears how we got it right, like related list. This type of related list we won't get it. If you don't want to manage a related list to show the fields which is independently required, all that we can do in this layouts. I'm just cancelling it. I'm showing that how we can manage the layouts and how we can add the quick actions. If you want to create your own quick actions, go click here to the links and buttons. You can click either you can say this new button. So these buttons whichever you create, it will be applicable in classic. Ideally, we don't deal with this now right away. So we always go to a quick actions where it shows the lightning experience. For example, if you want to show like this, quick action is the only way we have. So what is the type of the action that you wanted to perform? Either you're calling some component or you're calling some flow or you're updating some record or you're calling for a Visualforce page. What this all indicates is on click of the button, what you wanted to call. For example, if I click on lightning component, so we don't have lightning component so far. Maybe if I'm calling a custom Visualforce page, I should have exact at least only one Visualforce page I need to have. Maybe clicking on the button, I can open the Visualforce page. Create a record. Okay, what type of record that you wanted to create? Send email. What type of email that you wanted to send an email? So like this, these are the quick action buttons we have. Unless and until we get into quick action where you do a custom development, on click of that you are doing some XYZ operations. Only then we get into the quick actions layouts. Otherwise, if you see layouts is the common one and record types is the one which we have. We will see the record types in next upcoming classes. Why? Because our schema represents two things, which is an account can have a suppliers or it can have a customers. So I need to have to create two layouts, account two layouts I have to create and two record types I have to create. and associate the record types respective to layouts. So this we have to do it. And again, at the product level also, we have two things. One is banking and another one is insurance. These two things should be getting separated. So when we jump in tomorrow, so we will see how a lookup relationship, other relationship would work. In parallelly, I would be giving again on how our project is working, how the record types and the page layouts will be configuring. Even that we will be touching this. I know. So those record types and other stuffs would be somewhere. Some chapters would be relating it, but we are on the flow. We're not going step by step, something like a training. We are doing like project wise. So we will be little faster pace on learning few things extra. Whatever the permission set and the other OWD which I was talking here will come under it in the 19th chapter. But still, we were a little faster to learn about the basic of how it is working. Today we have been seeing about field level security, how to give it, and object level security also we have given. What is this object level security? Going to a profile and finding an object and giving read, write, edit, view, access, whatever we given. We have knocked out and we saw a tab which is not present because at the object level only you don't have an access. How can you see a tab? All this matters. So this again we call as an object level security. Field we disable a permission for that up sales rep, whatever the sales rep guy, and we went and checked that field is not visible. And we give an access via through an object or from a profile. So both the ways when you give an access or either one way if you give an access, so you can see at the layout where so to the payments info when you logged in, you can see that layout into the layout. So the card type, card number is the one which I disabled at the very beginning, and I give an access to him. You can see this. Then card master payment type, I made it as required field. So if you select none and if you save, so it will say that hey, please complete this field. Why? Because this is a required field. You cannot leave blank. So this also we've seen today. Any questions, guys? Okay. So I think we are good to continue for the next class. For sure, I think tomorrow we'll have at least the basement of what our project is doing. And the moment we talk about the relationship, surely we will be involving 100% in the project level. So we don't have an option other side. So we'll be involving more to this, how this operation is working. Correct? Okay. So thank you all guys. Uh, yeah, sure, man. Sure, sure. I will upload all the recordings because I found an option where you can do. So one video is successful. So now rest of the things will flow. Okay. Thank you all guys.